Hey there! If you're looking for a fun and easy way to earn rewards, including cash and prizes, check out the link in the video description.
Oh, and Thursday, Kathy Hochul, the New York governor, announced plans to sponsor legislation that would ban smartphones in schools as part of her broader effort to protect children from technology's negative effects. She intends to introduce the bill later this year so that it can be considered during New York's next legislative session, which begins in January. Hochul's announcement should come as welcome news to anyone concerned about the effects of smartphones and social media on students' attention spans, relationships, learning, and mental health. However, given that it could be more than a year before the bill goes into effect, provided it's passed to begin with, caregivers and school administrators may be wondering what they can do to shield their children from technology's worst traits now. Simply put, a lot. Here are some suggestions for parents and schools, based on my professional research and my personal experience as a parent. First, smartphones should not be allowed in the classroom, full stop. Distractions caused by notifications and surreptitious scrolling disrupt students' ability to focus and to learn, not to mention their opportunities to socialize and build friendships with other students in real life. Banning smartphones in school is a common-sense step with proven positive effects. In order to take the burden of enforcement off of teachers, schools that can afford to do so should consider investing in a solution such as Yondr pouches, small, locking bags, used by a growing number of schools, as well as numerous performers fed up with spectators' glowing screens lighting up during their shows, that allow students to keep possession of their phones throughout the day, but prevent them from using them until the pouch is unlocked. Schools that can't afford this can improvise their own systems, such as creating phone cubbies in classrooms or simply requiring students, upon entering school, to turn off their phones completely and keep them in their locker or backpack. Parents worried about reaching their children in an emergency should be given the school's phone number and be reminded that in the case of a true emergency, such as an active shooter, it is better for students to be paying attention to their teacher than to be frantically making phone calls or sending texts, or inadvertently revealing their hiding places, thanks to a sound or vibration from their phones. On the home front, parents and caregivers should educate themselves and their children about the business motives of the companies that are behind many of our most time-sucking apps. Spoiler alert, the more time we spend on them, the more money their creators make. Once you and your children fully understand how we're being manipulated and taken advantage of, and learn about what the companies themselves know about their products' negative effects, you may not want to spend so much time on your phones. If your children use any internet-enabled electronic devices at home, take the time to establish family guidelines for technology use, and to adjust their parental control settings, particularly the chat features within multiplayer video games, which can be used by predators for sextortion. Also consider paying for an add-on parental control plan that has more robust features than those that are built into most phones, such as the ability to block specific apps, or set schedules for internet access. Many self-service providers offer these plans. You can also use a third-party service, such as Canopy or Bark. People whose children do not yet have smartphones or social media accounts should keep it that way for as long as possible. A recent report commissioned by France's President, Emmanuel Macron, strongly recommends that children not have access to most social media platforms until at least 18, and that they not be allowed to have smartphones, ideally, I would argue, with a parental control plan installed that blocks access to social media platforms and inappropriate sites, until at least 13. To make this easier, and to prevent your child from feeling left out when their peers get phones, consider joining forces with like-minded caregivers and pledging to delay your children's access to smartphones and social media. In the United States, ScreenStrong, AnxiousGeneration.com and Wait Till 8th are good resources, though keep in mind that 8th grade is still too early for smartphones and SOCI.